I got for selling me clothes, uppers for selling me blanket. If ever I list for the soldier again, devil shall be me sergeant.
Right, good afternoon, well, very late evening, should I say, ladies and gentlemen. Tightwad here. I'll do another quick how-to video. I was asked by two people to, when I found the enthusiasm to get this done, to make this pouch, just to do a video of it. Like I say, some people enjoy seeing the how-to videos. A little bit of history, mythology behind this. This belongs to, this is a Leatherman Wave. I think they cost £100. Blimey. It belongs to Outlander Bushcraft, Martin, or the big fella as I call him. Story behind this: he was on his permission in Chelmsford, and it's in there, and it's locked up. And bless him, what he's done is, as I tell you, a bit of a galah. He's put his belt on upside down, if that makes sense. He just had this on the belt, so it was now upside down. And in between, this has happened, and the wave has dropped out. Should have been never to be seen again, okay? And they cost £100 and that'd make anybody's eyes water. I tell you what, I think I'd make my eyes water when I'd wet my pants if I lost £100 leather tool. A little bit special to him as well, because his missus bought him to him as well. Unbelievable happened, and it really is unbelievable. The guy who owns the land walked up to him sometime later and said, "Hello mate, I think this must belong to you or one of your lads that comes over." So this was lost and then found again. Right, once when Marty lost that first one, he said, I've got to get another one, so he did. And I said to him, mate, I'll tell you what, this pouch, well, it's already been lost from there once. I suppose it's okay for general use. If you get another one, I'll make you a patch for that. And the major thing with that patch, it will not be flash, it will not be fancy, but the prime design requirement is that it keeps that tool secure inside until you want to pull it in and out. So that's what I'm doing. Obviously, he's got two Leatherman Waves now, and his missus is very outdoorsy. She's now got one as well, so that's excellent. But anyway, that's why the stories come behind me making this patch. So the prime mission, okay, the design requirement is to keep it secure on a belt and attached to the belt itself, so he never loses it again. Inside here, you've got the normal. I think he actually just modified that to put a fire steel in there, and as I can see, there's the striker, Carrymore striker. Okay, so I'm going to now ditch that leather belt. I suppose it's okay, adequate, but mass produced. Anyway, during the time we've been having a little conversation, I've had this a little while, and sometimes you've got to just have the enthusiasm and think, actually, right, I'm going to get that done, and get it done now. You have an initial idea, and that initial idea changes. So during the time in between, what Martin said was, if I can be a bit good old boy, if these are the attachment that goes with it. So there's a load of screwdrivers, spanners, and hexagon sets there. So there's two sets of that to go into the pouch as well. Not a problem. Initial idea there would just be to put that as a sleeve inside the pouch, which I'll show you as we go on. And when we was at the Bushcraft show, bless him, he's got a brilliant little sharpener. I think it's a Blade Tech one that just fits inside of there. Very small, very lightweight. So I said to him, actually, it won't be too long before I get that pouch done. I've got to get me rear ending gear. Give me the cover, and that way I know what size the sharpener is inside. It's one of the pull-through ones. So all of that has got to disappear into a pouch. Right, it's going to be in brown material. Okay, I've got brown Cordura on Island. There's just a little bit of it there, if that makes sense. That just houses my diary for when I'm walking about in my pocket. So what I'm going to make, Martin, is a pouch that's rather like this. This is just to give you an idea. It will have a belt loop, high one, a low one, and a high one. And press studs are good. I prefer a big, strong 15mm side wedge of Velcro. If it does open, you can hear it, and Velcro is quite secure. Inside of that, at the back and the front, where we're going to find the two sleeves. Okay, down the side, I'll make a loop for the fire steel. Okay, and at the back, inside there, that's where his striker's going to go. That may well be on the front of the pouch, I don't know, I'm going to just work that out as I go. But inside of there, that's where Martin's Leatherman will go. The big wedge of Velcro will come over and secure it, okay, so it's a big secure Velcro, and he wants that on there, so I did just have a D-ring there. hidden by my pouch. As I say, the pouch, I'm going to put a D-ring there, so Martin can then clip that onto there. Okay, so basically that's the embryo of the pouch. Obviously I'm now going to work out some sizes, go and cut some material. I'm going to try and keep this as quickly as possible, but I generally find the people that like making stuff or like knowing how I go and write don't mind watching a slightly longer video. Obviously if it's not your thing, you'd have already switched off by now, which is fine, gentlemen, because this is just a how to make something. Anyway, there's the mission. Make that so it's in the most secure pouch possible. That is the prime design directive, and I sound like somebody out of Star Trek at the moment, don't I? But ladies and gents, I'm going to go away, get a ruler and scratch my head a bit, scratch my nuts, and then come back with some cut out material. Take care. Right, ladies and gents, back again. So I've sized a piece of material. I like to draw around a box or something that's roughly the same size, but it's the brown Cordura nylon. I've made Martin a first aid sheath that goes with his knife. I know he likes this and that's what he wants it in. So here we have front, F, back, and then flap, FL for flap. Okay, very important now that I'm going to have a sheath that goes down inside to take the two tool and the sharpeners on the inside. They're very important that I put the Velcro on the front first and the actual webbing loop for low and high on before I do anything else, because I won't be able to go back and sort that out. But basically that's how it's going to go. That's going to be the front, the tool's going to be in there, that's going to be the back when it's sewn up, and that's going to be the flap. Okay, obviously it's a little bit longer because I've made all the bits I've got to tuck in and so forth. Okay, but remember I've got to get a fire steel in there, and it doesn't matter if there's a little, always better to have it a little bit bigger than a little bit smaller. So that's the basic piece of material. It's going to be a flat pouch with the tool inside there and all the accessories. So I'll crack on with that now. Remembering I've got to do the outside stuff before I start sewing it up into a pouch, or even start to think about putting the sheath on there that's going to take the two sets of tools. Right, ladies and gents, I've progressed a little bit there. Wait a second. I've now sewed the front piece, that's the front of the pouch, sewed the Velcro on because I can't do it later on. The belt loops, that's the high one and the low one, so he can have it high or low on his belt, whichever he wants. I always prefer it on the high one, sewed on now because I can't do it later on. So that's the outside of the belt, and that's how it is now. So when it's sewed up, it's going to be like that, and that's the flap coming over. Okay, and that's how you're looking at the belt. So we now look to the inside, because inside I've got to carry various items. So what I've decided to do is sew a pouch inside a pouch, and I'm just using green material, one because it's there, it's inside the pouch, doesn't matter that it's green. So once that's then sewn up, there is another pouch there. Hopefully you can see that. That inside there will go the striker for the fire steel and the tools, so that's going to go in there. And literally when that's sewn up, as you will see it, it'll be inside, there'll be two pouches, so one can slip down the back, as you can see there, and one can slip down the front. So it's a pouch inside a pouch, and that's how I'm going to do that and get that achieved. Not even going to bother sewing it across the bottom, it'll just be one slip loop. That's how it will make up. So there's going to be two pouches. Obviously it's going to be sewed down, offset just slightly to one side, sewed down there, leaving the tops open. Right, so it gives me another, not a dilemma, but another little problem. So I'm now, before I do that, I'm going to sew a pouch on a pouch. Okay, that pouch there, and if I put it the opposite way round, just so you can see there's a bit of contrast there. Okay, is going to be the pouch for Martin's little sharpener there. I'll pull that round just to see if I can do it long ways, see it better. So that's the pouch that once sewn up, the tool ujimmy flimmy bits, I can't remember what they're called now, will fit inside of there. So to accommodate that sharpener inside it, which Marty said he wanted, I'm now going to sew a pouch onto this pouch, so that will then go inside there like that. Okay, so that's going to be a pouch inside a pouch. I'm going to take it to that side, because what I'm also going to do is sew a loop on here, which I prepared already, being a good Blue Peter boy. and that brown loop, just a piece of material, it's all going to be in the inside of the pouch, is literally going to be to take Marty's fire steel. And again, so when I do that, I'll measure it so literally it's about there when it's all sewn on. Okay, ladies and gents, so that's how it's going to look on the inside of the pouch, because once I get it sewn up you won't see this again. So that's exactly what's going to be happening. That's going to be pushed up a little bit. Ooh. To there, that to there. And again, once it's all sewn up, that's what you'll see. So it'll be hidden inside the pouch. So I'm going to do that one last time, then just take it apart, put it together. Yeah, scratching my head a bit, yeah, but we'll get it done. There's a normal flat pouch. Stick his Leatherman inside. Belt loop sewn on already, and the Velcro to accommodate the two tool holders. I'm going to sew it slightly offset to one side inside the pouch, a slip, okay, sewn down the sides but not along the top, okay, so they can come in and out. To the sharpener. Before I sew this on, obviously I'm going to sew this onto here, so that will be the pouch for the sharpener. Then once I've done that, I will sew that onto there. That's for his fire steel. So I'm going to sew all all that up at the moment, then I'm going to come back to you. But remembering everything you're looking at now is on the inside of the pouch. Take care. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I took the inner pouch away. That's the one to take the two tool holders. And I've now sewed that up. So literally what I did there, so there's a pouch inside a pouch that's inside a pouch, and that will take Martin's sharpener, which we know goes in there. So that's in a green pouch sewed onto there, and just so it goes in there. Stop it banging about in the pouch, okay, and it's easy enough to get in and out. I've just sewed that little loop on there for his fire steel, and again his striker will go in the back larger pouch. So what I'm going to do now is take these two things out, don't need them anymore, carefully sew up either side. So when I turn that over, it turns into two pouches, and that's how you see the two pouches and that, okay. So I'll bring you back when I've done that. I've got to be careful how I do that, because that's got to be offset to one side by 5mm. Okay, right, take care. Right, ladies and gents, along with the sound of rain on the conservatory, which I love, I've sewn it all up now. This is the inside of the pouch. So just to recap then, I have to sew, make sure you sew anything on the outside of these pouches. That's the Velcro part and the belt loops. Again, as I've sewed this one on, I've made sure I've not re-sewed over my belt loops, which will sometimes happen. If you do it, you know, don't forgive yourself, just crack on. But literally I've sewed down the side all the way down there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is start disappearing this stuff away. So the first one is his little sharpener, and I know it fits in there, so that will go inside there. The fire steel will go inside there, and the tool rolls, you can either put one or two in the top, and they'll disappear inside there. And then literally that's how the pouch will be, okay, once it's sewn up, and that's going to be the flap, okay, with the Velcro on it. I need to be quite tight on how I do that. And inside of that will go that. So that will be the pouch when I've finished it, okay. But you have to do all of this before, okay. So anything on the inside and anything on the outside before you actually sew the pouch up. And I'm not going to sew that's a complete tube there. I'm not going to sew along the bottom, because once I actually sew it up there, there'll be a natural. Obviously it'll have the jewel effect as well. That's all got sharp edges on it and so forth. This is 1000 denier Cadora nylon, 2 lots there, so that's 2000. That's 2 lots of Bergen material that's protecting his Leatherman wave there. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. And the way we do that, it's all that. My missus and my dogs are looking at me like I'm an absolute nutter, and they're probably not that far wrong. So I will take this to the machine now. I've marked it up there and there. Let me see that line there. There's a line there, so I know exactly where I'm going to sew it. and then literally sew down each side, and I'll come back in a second when I've done that. Right, here we are now. I've literally sewed it up to the pouch. There's a pouch. I'll push all this. You're looking at the inside of the pouch now, so that's the last time you're going to see it. So what I gotta do there, this will be down the front side of the pouch. Two holders will slip in there, nice and tight, no worries with them. Martin's sharpener that he wants, kept in the pouch, goes in there, lovely jubbly, and the fire steel goes in there, and that's at the back of the pouch. And in between, obviously, you'll see that the rest of the space of the pouch will be taken up by the Leatherman itself. Anyway, get rid of all this sort of stuff now, because this is the horrible bit where you've got to push it all inside out. Swearing is authorised, say so. But that's the inside of the pouch. A pouch within a pouch. Well, several pouches, but it's got it done. So now, literally, I'm going to be turning this inside out. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. There's a lot of Cadora nylon in there. I'm confident I haven't, but this is the part where you find out if you've done something wrong or gone out of sequence with your sewing, which I know I keep repeating and confirming, but one corner down there. There's another corner there. I'll tidy all that up. But ladies and gents, that's it now inside out, or the right way around should I say. I've sewed belt loop because I needed to sew the fire steel loop in there, so that's a job done. So I'll normally get a ruler and just shove it down there, square them off slightly. There's the belt loop at the back, there's the belt loop, and obviously I'm now going to sew along here again, it's down the sides to reinforce it again. Sew up there, take it slightly in like an envelope, fold it over at the top, and then that's where the securing piece of Velcro is going to go. Right, bring it back. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's late o'clock in the Tightwad household. I've finished the pouch now. Reason for doing it, Marty, the big fella, Outlander Bushcraft, do anything for the guy. He's got a heart of gold. He'd give you his last Rolo without thinking twice. In fact, if you wanted a last Rolo and he didn't have one, he'd go and mug the nearest old lady or child and give me his last Rolo. So that's what I started with, ladies and gentlemen. Your standard, I'm sure it's industry standard, you'll see one of them, leather pouch for, I think it was a Leatherman Wave, okay, very limited. And like I say, the big fella put his pouch upside down one time and it came out. He lost the Leatherman, over 100 quid's worth of gear. He was duly upset, and I'd have cried my eyes out and weed me knickers as well. Right, so what Tightwad's come up with there again, and remember, it's not flash, not fancy, it's a little bit of Max Expedition here. Number of things needed to go into that pouch, and the prime design point of that pouch was security of the Leatherman. Okay, it's not quick release, it's not, you know, change a magazine in 3 seconds or you get a punch in the head. It's keeping it secure, attached to his belt at all times, and he can do handstands now, he can do whatever he wants, and it's not coming out. So I'll just take you through the basic pouch. Again, Cadora nylon, double lined inside, low belt loop and a high belt loop. I've put a D-ring on there, sewed it on the back, so the lanyard for the Leatherman can be attached to that, Martin. I think we talked about that. If not, job done. Okay. The only thing is, Martin, and it's a big old tough bit of Velcro there. Don't spare the horses. I'll do it side on now. Don't spare the horses for courses. Where that's a bit thick there, Martin, when that's pushed in, that normally would have come down to there. But it's no matter. You can either change that if you want or make that a bit thinner. It really doesn't matter. So inside here we have the Leatherman, and that slips in the rearmost pouch, mate. As we look inside there, I don't know if you can see it, you've got your tool holders, 1, 2, And again, you've got thick fingers, mate. You've got fingers like Mars bar, so you should be okay to put your sharpening implement in there, and that will go in there in its own little separate pouch on a pouch. And then again, mate, I did put a loop in there, mate, but I think you're going to have trouble getting it in and out, mate, because it's quite dark down there. I've replaced a bit of string for you, mate, and it's going to be probably just be able to be pushed into the pouch like so on that side, mate. And then at the back, Leatherman attached to it, attached to that pouch, and you until you want it take it off, mate, just goes in there. Again, it wouldn't have that big bulgy bit there. Comes over, big wedge of old Velcro, and there we go, mate. Little tab on there just to, because I know you've got fingers like Mars bars, big old fingers. Anybody has shaken Martin's hand will know why. It takes you a few minutes for the blood circulation to get back there. He's got a big old hand, a massive handshake. Right, so there we go. We only cut the bits on that. We should have done a bit of green cotton there, and there's a little bit of cotton bobbling on there. But again, nothing flash, nothing fancy, but certainly from that to that. And if I ever get one of these things, I'm not too up on the old Leathermans. I like to have secateurs on the end of my multi-tool, and I've got one. In, out, fire steel in there, tools, and obviously your sharpening stone in there, mate. So there you go. And it's in the bushcraft brown, as I call it. I made the first aid kit for you, not dissimilar to that, mate, so that can slip on your belt. So Marty, hope you're happy with that, mate. It took me a little while, but you know, you just come home, look at something and think, yeah, I'm going to get it done today. So ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you very much for watching. Hope I haven't bored you to death. And you know, if it inspires somebody to get on and start playing about and making some of the stuff as opposed to paying stupid prices for it, then as I call that, a job done. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and good night. Take care.